And
Life and art.
and we're live. Life and Art podcast? No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, let me.
We sound like a PBS channel. Life and art.
Hello, welcome
Hi.
to. Well, we don't have a name for the podcast just yet, and I cracked a finger right in the recording. I heard it through the headphones.
Yeah.
I apologize for that, but welcome to so far the nameless podcast. I am Nik Vik, and joining me for this is
Azero Alcala.
Yeah, and a little introduction of us, because we're gonna act like you're not just our friends and family listening to this. What we do in our life is that I am a filmmaker, and I'm a performer, and I am also I don't really know how to describe it in a way that won't have to explain everything else. Basically, my job title is a program instructor at a company that serves people with intellectual disabilities.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty straight to the point.
Yeah, I just wish I had 2 words.
I know.
Because I said, like, people like program instructor. Why didn't you say teacher? It's like, because I'm not a teacher.
Right. Wait, what was the job description when you first applied to it? Just use that.
I can't remember. The thing is, I put teacher aide, but I don't think that's actually what it says.
Yeah.
Because, like, I technically have 2 jobs in one company.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, yeah, there's the baseline, but then there's always like something a little bit more.
That's a whole nother episode, if I
Yeah.
want to say. But basically, yeah, I can sum it up with, no matter what I'm doing, I am leading a group.
There we go.
Yes.
You are a leader.
Yeah.
Nice.
Unless I'm a teacher aide, then I'm kind of the assistant to the leader. But if they're gone, I am the teacher.
Stay tuned for more podcasts.
Yeah, we're actually gonna go to commercial now.
And I am a storyboard artist. I'm a digital illustrator. I am a concept artist. Pretty much a jack of all trades when it comes to like the digital world of just drawing, painting. And I do work at the
Walmart
as a lifeguard. And
I'm gonna have to censor that company.
Do you really?
I mean, like, what if y'all like, yeah? So one day I was like drinking on the job. I think you'll like it.
Okay, fine.
Like, okay.
Wait, did he not say?
I didn't say my name. No.
Oh, I didn't know.
Here's the thing. What if we said something like we weren't supposed to do, and like the job's cool with it, but then it's like they're not cool with us.
I guess I just didn't know how scandalous we were gonna go with it.
I don't know either, but you know
that
what?
is true. We're very unpredictable.
You know what? You work at
Walmart.
I work at Walmart. Yeah, let's just say that.
Can I change my?
I will censor it with me saying Walmart earlier.
Now you make me feel subconscious. Like, what if you fuck me over and you don't censor it, and then it's like, oh no, sorry, you're cool.
I watch. I'm actually gonna censor Walmart that I said with
Walmart.
Because it was the biggest, baddest company.
Yeah. Like I'm actually gonna say you're a lifeguard at Walmart, and I'm gonna say I am a program instructor.
Walmart.
Yeah. Man, who knows?
No.
The ball baskets get pretty deep. All right.
But yeah, and also we both are from an art collective called Syzygy. So
Yo, dude, what did I just say?
I'm sorry. What?
No, I'm kidding. No, you can say that. Yeah.
Syzygy is like, well, they don't give a shit.
I know. I want to rep Sizz all the time.
Yeah.
If I say anything bad about Sizz, well, the guests already knew when they walked in. But we love that place.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
Yeah, it's really nice. We've done a lot of stuff there, and we continue to do stuff.
I mean, to elaborate more into it, because that's also something I have trouble explaining. But in San Francisco, there is this community of artists. And we all like are doing events at this one hub owned by this guy named Nobel U. But it's called Syzygy. But most people call it Sizzler or Scissoring. We just call it Sizz.
They just talk about the dinner plans, and we say, "Oh no, it's Syzygy." It's like, no, I actually want to go to Sizzlers.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Can you stop changing the subject to that damn art collective? All right, because I'm hungry.
But yeah, I mean, like, I guess to sum it up, it's a art collective, but essentially it's a community space with the emphasis in art. That's why I like to say, because like we don't just do artist related stuff all the time. It just happens to be that way. You know, like there's like workshops for like we're gonna have one for like home brewing, right? Making beer. There was one for boba. There was one just for like general like hangouts and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly it's for the arts.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys have any questions about it, feel free. Shoot us some messages down in we don't have a social media yet or
We
anything.
don't.
Personally follow me. Just do it. Just.
I'm assuming both of us are
Yeah.
gonna have this on our own like Facebooks or Instagrams or whatever. So
Yeah.
just message us.
It's funny because friends and family still don't know what syzygy is.
Ah,
All right.
yeah.
I think my dad calls it the clubhouse, as if
The
we're in a
clubhouse.
tree with
No
like
girls allowed.
Yeah. But to carry on, this is right now. This is like our test episode. We're trying out the setup. We're trying out the format. So if everything goes well, this would be that test episode is technically the first episode.
It's like the pilot.
Yeah, yeah. But the reason why this is being recorded was so as of recent, I had this talk with Azero, and it was about like I was really stressing out trying to do this balance of almost like these two lives, because like when you come into the adult world, and I mean like this is like right when you start college, like that's when you have to start making decisions. The idea of it is like you go to school and then you just focus on school. Like if you go to school, you get that done as soon as possible. Then you get your job, and then you live life. Like that's the end of it all.
Right.
But and actually some people say like, actually, you don't get the job that fast. But but basically, we found out there's like this path that's not really talked about as much, and that's like the artist path. And I mean art in all realms, like whether it be music, film, but it's like when you're taking these classes, you gotta like you are learning things, you are getting these degrees, but not many people are really gonna hire you and maybe give you that job. Let's say the big job, like director for me. It just because you got a degree, like you need to make a portfolio, and maybe you go to a school that helps you build that portfolio. But from my experience, it's like my school experience wasn't helping me with that, and so I had to go outside my own life to make a portfolio. And I'm like, this was not said. I was told it would be school and job. And then even looking for the job, it's just like it's just difficult, Like how do you go to apply to be a director? So yeah, going with that, with my job being working with people with intellectual disabilities, I'm part time. I then get offered this job to do as a full time teacher aide at a school district to work in a special ed unit. Um, and it was full time, be working Monday through Friday, and it made good money. I almost took the offer, but I wasn't satisfied with it. I wasn't satisfied with it because it was almost like this is what I was supposed to get. This is a good paying job. This is a steady job that I will have, and I will be living life. But in the back of my mind, I was like, but this isn't what I want to do. This isn't the route I want to be in. I don't. As much as I like love helping and interacting with the people in the intellectual disability community, and also just the workers I work with too. Like I know it could be a very fun job, but like it wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't in the realm of what I want to do, and I saw myself like how easy it can actually be to just be like stuck somewhere, like almost entrapped in a situation that strayed me away from my true dream, my true calling, and how that could just keep me stuck there, because it would have like well, I wanted to make this year to build my portfolio. If I'd taken that full time job, I wouldn't be building my portfolio, and it would have asked like I took a semester off from school. This would have asked for a year, and I contemplate taking a year off from school.
Yep.
So and after our talk, we had this like realization that like we have these two jobs, and one of them doesn't pay us. All right, and it's just the way it is. It's just like being artists. You to be an artist and to be committed to that, and to build up that portfolio, you have a second job, and no one's really gonna acknowledge it. Like people will acknowledge it, but it doesn't make the income.
Right.
Not everyone understands it. Not everyone understands how it could be so complicated, you know? So time consuming. Something that I make can be viewed in 3 minutes, and it took me 3 months, you know?
Mhm.
And people will say like, why does it take you this long? And it's like, what about these people? Like they have, they get done so time. Like they have a team, they have
Yeah.
money, Like
Yeah.
I have neither. My uncle thinks I'm a big shot making money off of films, and I'm like trying to tell him like I've been losing money every project. All right, I'm currently in debt for my last film.
Right, and to quickly interject, I think those type of the people who say that type of stuff also think of like the mainstream social media of like how some people churn videos like in a consistent basis,
Yeah,
right? So I think some people skew what you're doing specifically like film, like what like making a full length film versus like making just a YouTube video.
yeah.
So they're like, oh, like it's done. It's only like 3 minutes, right? Like
Hmm.
what's wrong? Why don't you just take it out? It's like, well, this is much more. I guess you say much more quality than a YouTube video. Like there's much more emphasis on like
YouTube
music.
is with the way you want to do it, where people churn stuff out. It's really great if you. It could work great if you are a sketch team.
Mhm.
If you're doing sketches, simpler projects. But mine, I just want to do like in depth stories. I want to do like. I want to tell stories basically,
Right.
and I want to move beyond sketches. I try to do sketches,
Right.
and I just wasn't feeling it as strong.
But what I was like, you're doing it more. Just you can tell stories on YouTube, but again, yours is more like, this is something that requires like a lot of intricate detailing
Oh, yeah.
of everything. Not and again, not YouTubers have hard work.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
get me wrong,
definitely.
they definitely do. But like with your medium, it's something more in the traditional medium of film
Mm.
rather than just YouTube videos.
Yeah, and it's all hard work all around. But
Yeah.
you know, I don't. It depends on what you're trying to show.
Yeah.
When I'm putting stuff on YouTube, it was always to show stuff in the portfolio and show my. I wanted to go strong as a filmmaker.
Mhm.
That my quality was more demanding on me.
Uh huh.
That if someone, that's the beauty of the internet is
Mhm.
that you could give something out that's not low quality in content, but low quality in just how it was filmed,
Mhm.
and people are okay with it.
Yeah.
And it might give you a fan base, it might take you somewhere, but it's just like I I'm not doing it for a YouTube fan base. I'm just on YouTube.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
you know. Um,
It's a platform you're using to put your portfolio up rather than like,
I just
oh,
mainly just to share it to
yeah,
people.
just to share it because everyone knows YouTube.
Yeah.
Everyone knows YouTube. It's the easiest thing to like share,
Hmm.
right? If you have like, I know some people use Vimeo or something like
So
that.
that's actually what they say is more for professional filmmaking. Dude, like
Mhm.
they don't compress your footage as much.
Right.
But who the fuck knows Vimeo? I spell it wrong the first time every time. All right. I know it's an easy word, but I will spell it wrong the
I
first
thought it was
time
just an
each time.
alternative to YouTube.
I
Like I thought it was like a competitive basis.
I don't really think it's competing with YouTube because I don't think
Yeah.
even with all the problems YouTube has, it's got it. What's going for it is that people know it.
I just remember having pirated videos on Vimeo.
Oh yeah, it's
Because of that.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
But you'll find more like short films on Vimeo, and
Yeah.
that's because it just compresses it less.
Mm.
And I never been encountered with this, but I've heard that some film festivals will only accept it from Vimeo. I never
Yeah.
encountered that, but I've heard
Interesting.
that they wouldn't take a YouTube link. They'll be like, "Oh, put it on
Uh-huh.
Vimeo," you know.
Right.
And I heard there's like paid Vimeo accounts that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's more of that.
Yeah.
But real quick, so to kind of bring it back to what we were talking about, you were talking about your full time job. You said you declined it because of like your lifestyle. Like, so what do you want to end up doing? Like, you ended up,
Oh
getting
yeah.
a
So
part-time.
to bring it back to the job thing,
Uh-huh.
I ended up declining that offer,
Mhm.
and it was because that like I realized my setup I have now is really good
Mhm.
for building a portfolio. I don't know how long I'm gonna have it for.
Right.
Basically, this is where my job might sound kind of complicated, but um, overall, my schedule can be chosen by me. But it can be decided by me because I'm getting
Mhm.
asked weekly when I could work.
Mhm.
And if I say I can't work Monday, I don't work Monday.
Mhm.
And I could give that in a week's notice because I'm not committed to schedule any time. I tell them when I'm available. And
Right.
it's perfect for that because I could work Monday through Friday if I wanted to. But if I wanted to spend a day all to just write a script, and that's a day right there.
Mm.
That could be up to that could be up to 5 hours, you know.
Right.
And it's not it could be either constantly turning out a page or just trying to figure out one page, to writing a page and deleting it. Or I could use it to experiment with film. I could use it also like if I want to be on someone else's project and they're like, great, we're gonna need you next week. Can you do a Tuesday? I'm like, yeah. You know.
Yeah, well, real quick, basically me and Nick are kind of on the same boat as well. Like my part-time job, there was a point where I was offered a full-time position with actually made a crazy much more substantial amount of money, right? Like salary range. Um and I'm still in the process of that particular offer, and it does have to do with my career. But like again, I didn't I'm not turning it down, but it's like it's not my priority in my head, because I do have a part-time job right now, and again, it's the same as you. Like, I can make my own schedule, I can work on my stuff. Like, it's much simpler that way. And also, to give more context in our situation, for example, me and Nick live together. Like, we live in the same house.
Sleep in the same bed too.
That's not true.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. You don't know.
Get you out of that, oh man.
You're
not gonna believe that.
You want me to put Walmart over that?
just crudely put
it's like
Walmart.
It's Walmart.
Right.
Walmart.
I'll use like the robot voice on Google, like Walmart.
Yeah.
So we kind of have a very unique situation, me and you, like living together. We also live with a couple of high school friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess one of our friends is the landlord's son, and we just have like a very rare living situation. Not many people get to have.
We have a sweet deal, basically.
We have a sweet deal.
Like that's basically it. But if you think we live in SF, but we don't live in that like, oh, I want to live in SF dream. Yeah. We live in like, we found this closet in SF, you know? And we did some convincing, and they were like, I could break some laws to let you live here, yeah.
Right. So even when we have this super sweet deal, we still go through those struggles. You know, like, we're not making like millions. We're not like
I'm not even making thousands.
Yeah, right.
Like, why are you telling me the millions here?
Like the paycheck to paycheck type thing. And it's like, and again, it's not like we're like sinking, but it's like, well, we're part-timers for a job. But again, we're also doing this podcast because, well, one, we're both artists, right? We can really relate to each other and our struggles of like, okay, I'm working on this project, and we're always sharing like our thoughts processes with all of our projects. You come into my room like, hey, do you want to check out the script, and vice versa. I don't have a script, but I mean, like hey, check out this artwork.
You want to check out the storyboard? I'm like, nope.
But it's your storyboard.
I only read. You're not gonna make me look at things and interpret it. All right, you better put some dialogue there, because I can't tell a visual story. The filmmaker said.
It's like, well, fuck me. I get paid. But so it's to share our thought processes on our, I guess, specific projects. Another thing is, like, since we're artists, we're in our 20s, we're kind of, we have some people in our lives that are kind of going through the same thing, and I think it's very nice to have someone else hear like what we're going through, to kind of seem like, well, one, like, relatable, like, you're not alone on this, and like, this journey to be an artist, and we're also like, hey, we have really good talks, why not just record them?
I kept saying, if this doesn't work, we'll at least just have like a good conversation once a week. Yeah. Like, you guys don't have to. If it doesn't, if we get one fan, then that'll feel weird, because he's just one person eavesdropping. Every week, he's just like, I'm gonna fucking go on Facebook and know what they talk about. I don't know why he's aggressive about it.
Yeah, and why is he a he? Why is it not she?
Yeah, well,
Do we not gravitate towards that fan base of
I
women?
do not want to say women scare me, not when I'm being recorded, but I just did. Can we put Walmart over there?
Just kidding at Walmart.
I will hope this episode becomes popular, that if I ever censor things with Walmart, like, they will understand from the beginning, like, yeah, he brought it up like 3 times in the podcast. It was an alright joke, but he thought, like, repetition would make it stronger. I stopped listening after
and then
episode
Walmart
10.
goes after our ass, and we have to use, like, Sam's Club or something like that.
That is Walmart, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't fucking know. There's a smiley face.
All I remember that.
I don't even know who Sam is. Yeah. I don't even know what was in
Why
his
does he have
club.
a club?
Yeah.
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 I think club sandwich whenever I think of Sam's Club. That's just a.
Can this be the rest of the podcast?
Yeah. Fuck the art, right?
Yeah.
Fuck the art aspect.
Just the way this delved in.
But overall, yeah, and you mentioned that we recently had a talk about this too, but like we've kind of had these type of talks throughout our friendship, you know, ever since the beginning versus till now.
We've been having the same talk for like 5 years, and it always switches which one's having the crisis.
Right.
Basically, you know.
So last time it was me.
Yeah, no, last time it was me, and you were the one helping me out.
Well, this recent one.
Yeah, no, so this is the funny thing. I go to Azero, and I'm all like panicking about life. I'm like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I want to be excited. I'm about to like even cry at this point, because it's like you wish you just wanted to be a mechanic or something. You know, like I go to school for that, and then who the fuck doesn't need their car fixed? You know, and then was after like going off for like 20 minutes, Azero says, you know, this reminds me of a talk I came to you for, and what you told me, I was like, wait, he's just gonna repeat to me what I told him. Like, how long have we been in this loop of we're just repeating to each other the advice we forgot? You know, like it is so easy to forget, because it's just
really
like,
is.
you know, I don't know if people understand, like there's honest doubt throughout this whole thing, because it's knowing that even after getting a bachelor's, I might not be a filmmaker, you know? Like, I might not be a director. I might work on a film. I might not be a director, though. I might teach film. I might not be a director, though, you know? And then the goal for me is, like, I want to be a writer and director. And I want to be so much more.
Oh, and a little more background on my part. So you went to CCSF, right? And you're still going there.
I still go there.
So I came from Academy of Art, and I have a bachelor's in visual development. But
there he is, rubbing it on my face again.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll take my balls off.
You know what's funny?
Well, oh, you meant that.
It's a good thing it's audio. We have to just listen carefully for the. I don't know why it's wet. Right?
Oh boy. But so I'll say this now, like all the freelance work that I've ever done, and even including this salary job, they've never asked about my experience in school. Yeah. They only see my experience like as like working on your films, you know, as a storyboard artist, like Sis, and other like, you know, just sample storyboards.
Oh, are we about to delve into like our view on school now?
Oh boy, that's a topic. Shit. Okay,
that's a big one.
That was one of the things like this recent conversation that we had that like we totally ranted on.
I said it was a fucking scam.
Yeah.
Like, I think school's great, but I think school tries to scam you too, you know?
Well, it isn't like for us creatives. It isn't meant for us.
It's I don't know. It's very tricky, because I'm not gonna say it wasn't meant for us, because what I've learned at CCSF, City College of San Francisco, I think it's very valuable. I love my time there, but I can also say I've taken some classes in which it's like, I was like, why the fuck am I taking this class, you know?
Well,
or it's even like the class wasn't taught well,
right? And
in the end though, it's like, was someone really gonna look at this and be like, you took, man, should I really just? I don't know if I should describe the actual class, because there's one teacher for it, but basically it was like, I don't know if they'll look at it like, oh, you know this now, and I'm honestly like, no, that class was bullshit. I don't know this.
Right.
Don't do that. But there's also other classes I'm like, I didn't know this. That was freaking great. I'm glad I learned that.
No, I get that. There's some valuable aspects to those classes, but what I mean is, the trekking from undergrad to like getting your degree
Oh
and then
yeah.
therefore getting a job, like what you were saying, like just because you have a degree in a certain area of expertise that you want to be in doesn't mean that you're going to get that job specifically.
Yeah.
You want to be a director, that doesn't, just because you have a degree doesn't mean you're going to be a director.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you also mentioned like you're working, like right now you're working on a short film. Hi.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I initially wanted to like also say what we're working on right now, but
Come on, flex a little, man.
I'll flex. All right. Here's a little flex for y'all. I'm working on Hyde.
Mhm.
What is that? I should have said a short film.
Yep. Yep.
My flexing, it's all
A
off.
horror short film.
Basically, yeah. So, I mean, I guess we'll chime in. I'll chime in there. I'm right now I'm in like the late post production. Like I am
Right.
on the sound part, and that's like one of the final steps of making a short
Uh-huh.
of a film. But yes, I am in the process of making a short film called Hyde. Okay, but what were you saying? Like
Yeah, yeah.
making a short
So
film.
you're making a short film, and you also I also mentioned to you, like, to put in perspective on where you are right now.
Yeah.
Your classmates haven't even started anything like that,
Hmm.
right? You started at a really young age, and like we started together. Like we did our like what we did our first. Well, you did your first. But wait, there's more. That was what.
Oh,
That's
that
on
was a
YouTube.
sketch.
Yeah,
I
it
know
was
I
a
said I don't
sketch.
write sketches, but the first thing I did,
It
the
was
first
right.
few things I did was sketches.
Yeah.
I but I kind of
Right.
grew
So
tired of it a bit.
right, right. Well, we did that together, right? And we did that at a really young age, even before you went to CCSF, right? So you kind of already at that time dipped your toes in like what really is what's the reality of being on set, what
Mm.
goes wrong, all that stuff. And I was telling you, you already had so much experience to the point like when you went into that classroom and you talked about it, people were like amazed, like, "Oh my goodness, you did this already?"
I mean, I want to pull it back a bit. I didn't know so much, all right?
But
But half the
yeah.
class was this, like, man, I don't, like, the teacher would talk about, like, man, I don't even fucking know this. I already know this. I'm beyond this class. And then he would say, like, one word. I'm like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's why there's always something to absorb. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is,
I had one step above everybody, though.
right, because to also put in that context, already made those
Yeah.
you already had those experience and that made those mistakes to the point where you kind of have a more realistic goal with like your pursuit. And even with this job thing right now, like you have a more realistic like kind of perspective on where you want to go with your type of projects and all that.
Definitely.
So that's what I mean by like um like school can only do so much for you. Like for me as an artist in Academy of Art, I have so many talented friends, like incredible artists who are like, well, you should already have a job at Disney right now, like that good. And you know, so I went to Academy of Art for 2 years on campus and 2 years off campus. Only reason it was because I hated going to the actual class. Because after a while, the classes were a little repetitive.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I did this shit like a semester ago.
And do some research on Academy of Art. There's some questionable practices. So I don't know if your class is being like, wait, do I need this one? If that's like, is that all colleges or is that just Academy of Art?
Just say,
hey, I'm not censoring this name, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I want you to say it because they're in
people,
deep shit.
They are in deep shit. I used to work there.
We both used to work there.
As like a front desk help. He was a lifeguard. And it's just like once a year they're getting
We
sued.
knew everything that was happening in the background. That like we're just kind of looking at each other like, no one's gonna talk about this. Like,
yeah.
Like,
but you were saying you were taking these classes that were basically like the same thing. They would just had like a 4 at the end. Like,
right.
Yeah.
This
is different from 1, 2, and 3. This is 4.
Yeah. It was pretty much that, and I understand why they did it. Like, oh, we gotta review. Like, oh, like you could do it better this time, right? I get that. But also it was the fact like they took attendance, and I was working 2 jobs at that time. I was working at Stanford, and I was working at somewhere in Burlingame, and it was just really hard to go to like do school, then these 2 jobs because I still had to make a living. So basically that was both reasons why I left. And I had in those 2 years on off site, being an online student, making my own schedule, I had more time to actually experience the outside world, not just like being cooped up in my room doing homework all day.
Do you mean outside world like of art or just in general?
In general, like it was like I actually got to like go out. I actually got to like have those experiences, because it having those experiences, like actually enjoying life, is just as important as your practice. Like it really is.
Yeah, I think basically what it is that like at least like what our views now are from like you graduating and me like basically practicing this and try for what is it like it's a 4 years now I think do 4 years and then going to school for like 2-3 years. I like lose track and I started at a weird time. But it's just like we learned that like school can be a great thing to learn art, but it can't just be school.
Right.
You know, and that's the struggle of it, is knowing that like you like again it's like when you want to be an artist and you want to work on art, you have another job, and imagine it's like you have your job for income, then you got your job for passion, and then you got schooling, and just something is getting sacrificed during that.
Yeah.
And you know, I know everyone would say like, "Oh, you're young, you can slow it down," but it's just like you can't. It's hard to mentally tell yourself that.
It really is.
You can hear it, but like you keep wanting to say, you know, like they're right, I'm young, but you're like, well, what if, like for me, I'm like, what if I blink and I'm 30 and I still only have this much, you know?
Right. And
I've still only done this, but you know, it's just learning like you really gotta take things. Right. You gotta slow it down. You gotta not overload. You gotta say like, let me work on this for now.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll commit to myself that I'll work on this later.
Well, I was actually gonna add on after you know what I said, like go out and all that from those experiences. Well, one, that's how I found Sis. That was out of a whim. I went to a drink and draw event, and I met Nobel, the founder of the Syzygy, and like I got to be you know, got to know him, and he asked me to be a member, and from there he like I took Nick there. Like basically, if we were in our bubbles all the time, like just working on our shit and not seeing what's out there, what kind of people are out there, we wouldn't have known the people and the resources that we have today. That would not have been possible. Yeah. You know, like not at all.
Yeah. And we're saying all this, like we have these resources and everything. I'm also reminding people, we're not big shots either.
We're not big shots. We're not.
We have resources, equipment. We got the drive for it, and it's still this moment. We're still at the struggling stage.
Yeah. So we're yeah. So I'm not saying it like, oh, we're better and anything like that. But it's like, well, we're fortunate enough to have resources that I guess we work for, you know, like we actually went out of our way to go
some
get
things. Yeah, some things we went out of our way to go get it. Some things
like just
coincidental, just like, hey, just let's ride this for a bit and see what happens, you know?
Yeah.
Cause like, yeah. I mean, fuck, you know, I felt like I was gonna like add something about Syzygy, but you know what? Maybe you said it. Oh yeah, just like going out there. You were saying, I was gonna, I don't remember. I was basically gonna like add this story. It was this very interesting thing, you know. So the way you made anybody who would lead you in any direction of like your art. Let's bring it to film, you know. For the examples I've heard from the stories I've heard, there was, you know, we talked about that one path people talk about a lot. You know, you graduate high school, go to college, graduate, get your job, get your career. Right. There was not one definite path for being in film. And that's in like, there's so many jobs in film, so it's like I'm just gonna be vaguely saying film. You know, maybe you don't want to be a director, you want to be a cinematographer, or just a assistant director, or just a Foley artist. You know, but it's like there's no one path because there's as many tales of people saying like they went to like University of Southern California, and through the professors saw like they had great potential, supported them, helped them with projects, and then introduced them to like Quentin Tarantino or some shit. I don't know. And then there's also stories of like, it's ironic, Quentin Tarantino story of working at a VHS store, like a video store. And I can't remember the rest. He dropped out of high school though. You know. And then he made Reservoir Dogs. I know he worked on projects before that, but he just persevered. You know, he went a route that wasn't schooling. And then my favorite story is I'm in this class. And you know we're all in the lab, and we got a project that was like confusing as fuck. So we're all just talking, we're all just shooting the shit. And I don't know how we started talking about path, but one guy he mentioned like he's like, you know, I actually went over to this party, and there was like a bunch of like big shots and film there, and there was this one guy, he just looked so out of place, like the way he was dressed. I can't think of it right now how he described it. I want to say he was like in sweats or some shit, and he looked like almost like he had no idea what he was talking about.
Right.
And it turns out this guy, he had some job in production, like producing films. And I and that's also very vague, but I
Yeah.
basically when he asked like, how do you even know these guys and everything, he's like, dude, I just partied with them. Like no joke, he's like, I just partied with the right people, and they liked me,
Right.
and then they wanted to work with me, and I think what kind of producer he was just that. There's producers who literally just like know people. Like if you're like, I need someone to, be the sound guy. Do you know someone's like, yeah, I know a sound guy. You know, it's like I need this actor, and it's like, hey, I have a connection to that actor. Like this guy was just likable, and people want to work with them. And then someone shared a story in which they did cocaine with somebody, and then that guy was like, "You're a really cool guy, you know. You say you study film," and it's like, shit, the guy didn't take the job. I forgot why, but it's just like, there's no fucking route. It could be school, it could be drop out of school, do a project, it could be doing cocaine with the right people.
And disclaimer for anyone who's in school right now.
Do cocaine. That is like the disclaimer we're trying to give right now.
We're still on that path.
Yeah.
By episode 20 we need to do the cocaine.
Yeah, no, I fucked up. Mine was laced, you know? The guy didn't trust me. He's like, you brought some laced shit over here? You think I want to work with you? Huh? How can I expect you to bring me a pure film? We can't even bring me pure drugs.
Pure coke. Right? Give me the pure coke.
Yeah. That is what the Quentin Tarantino said to me.
I would do the same, but I have allergies right now. So. But disclaimer is, if you're in school and it's working out for you, and you know that's the path that you like, go ahead and do it. This is just our experience. This is just like for us, what we notice and what usually generally just.
And I'll mention again, like I have good experiences in school too.
Yeah.
I've had some amazing teachers, and that short film I mentioned earlier, Hyde, I created it all with students from my classes, and it really is like this passion project done by all of us, because it was basically, it was a lot of people's first shots. It was a lot of people's times to experiment with jobs, and you know, the people I know that do film work, I met them all through City College, through going to college. Yeah. So that was my connections. Those are the people I met, and the people that wanted to work with me.
But well, it's kind of like it goes like I composed like a really nice piece of art on my Instagram, Art of Azero, and like.
Don't worry, I'll put it on the screen.
Okay,
I'll put it like in
on the audio file.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
No, but I mean, not that someone will see. I have to change the name on SoundCloud or whatever I put it.
Yeah, but basically you can put so much work into like one piece of art, and like people don't know like what the process of. People don't talk about the process of what it took to get that out there, right? Your with film, it's more specific. Like, yeah, you guys, you were talking to me like, you were telling me like, wow, like Azero, you could just like make a whole painting and then just Control Z, like just like start over, right? For me, it's like for you, it's like you need you need to schedule stuff. You need to like pretty much like the right lighting, the right environment.
And if I wanted to restart, especially for this the most recent project, I would have to let down 14 people.
Exactly.
If I had to tell them like I didn't like it in the end, so I just deleted it all, and I'm thinking we're gonna refilm it. And be like, you fucking dick, we're not doing this with you again.
Yeah, for me, you know? I just restart and then just. I don't know. I can sleep at night.
Yeah, you could do it by yourself.
Right.
You could do it in a day. I mean, you probably can take days, but like
Right.
You can make something out of nothing.
But yeah, but mine's more independent than yours. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, so when people ask like, oh, why does this take so long? Right?
Yeah.
Like, why did your video take so long, or why did
Mhm.
this file take so long? It's
Yeah.
like, well,
And I wanna just emphasize. I think I said it takes your day. Some would take your day. You do
Some.
some in 3 hours, but that's
Yeah.
on your speed drawing.
yeah,
That,
I do that more often now.
Yeah.
Only because I like it. Like, to put it simply, I could be like, well, it's more about the efficiency of yet. No, I just
Mm-hmm.
I like drawing fast. I like painting fast. That's my thing. And I train myself to make quality speed paints rather than just like focus on it for 8 hours.
And I think this would be a good thing to talk about next show. Not to shut you up like that. Like,
No,
hey, maybe you shouldn't start a new topic like that.
You're not that
alright?
interesting.
I was slowing down a bit here. And I was
okay.
no, but I think we gave people the introduction. And again, this was a test. So
Yeah.
actually, hopefully, this all sounds really good.
Okay.
And honestly, hopefully it's at the quality at least when you put it in your car or in your computer. You're like, I don't want to rip my ears out, and I can hear them. But I think people got introductions, and I think next episode we should definitely talk about that type of process. It like kind of goes into our work and maybe
Gave a little teaser.
Yeah, there we go. We got a little teaser. Come back. Yeah. I mean,
please come back.
Will half of the Avengers come back, or will they be vanished forever? I don't know.
I did not watch Endgame yet. Please.
That's not Endgame. Yeah.
Oh, is that not?
No, that's Infinity War. And if I spoil that for you, I mean, where were you for like a year or two?
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm very behind on a lot of things, folks.
Yeah. Feel free, if we post this on anything that has comment based, just spoil a bunch of shit.
Please don't.
For Azero.
Please don't.
Azero's a very
podcast.
Azero's a very. I'll just DM you personally. He's a very busy person. He doesn't have time for movies. Just sum it up in the comments below.
My goodness.
Don't put spoiler warning or he won't read it. All right, that's we're doing this for him.
Doing this for me.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean.
Well, yeah.
Thank you all for listening. I was gonna thank you for joining me, but you're gonna be joining me every episode. Hopefully.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not a guest. We're in this together.
Yeah.
But you are editing, so like.
Yeah, I could take you out.
It's just like awkward. Like.
I'm just honestly like I'm just like laughed with myself and talked to myself.
Like
sometimes
like, edit
so why don't you tell me about your job? And then nothing is said. And I go, yeah.
So this is bowling
great.
now.
Yeah, this is bowling now. Yeah, people just think I have like a voice inside my head.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we plan on doing this, every week. I'm not sure. We're not entirely sure about our schedule yet, right?
I mean,
Like
when I release this would be a week,
This will be a week, yeah. All right, cool. But
let's say our goodbyes. Go ahead, wave. Let my mic pick that up.
I mean, your mic is pretty good, so I would say.
That was the sound of a wave right there.
Here's my balls clapping.
We gotta have a. I'm covering that in Walmart.
Walmart.